What's up, everybody? And it's your boy AD, and that's all day. And I'm finna talk about your boy Jeff Hardy, man. I know I'm a little late to this news. It happened like a couple days ago. Now it's on national news, which I wasn't expecting, but it is because I've seen it. And I just want to give my thoughts and my input on what's probably going on with Jeff Hardy and what's probably led us to this and maybe where he may go in the future. But first thing I will say is, man, I hope Jeff Hardy is doing good, man. I hope, he gets it back together and everything gets good again because, even at the age of 44 years old, I still feel like this man got a lot left in him, and is still very, very talented and very entertaining, and it's just a little sad and depressing of what's been going on with him upcoming to this. I made a video some weeks ago talking about the Darby Allin match that Jeff Hardy had with him and talking about how brutal that match was, because this is what I think. Like, Jeff Hardy has been doing stunts and doing this and doing that for a very, very long time, man. He's been around for like 20 years doing high risk maneuvers, putting his body on the line, doing a lot to get the crowd going. He's been doing this for years. But I feel like as you get older, it should kind of tone down a little bit, unless you still capable of these things. But it's like we already know that he had his problems and his issues in WWE, and then he left, and then he was in AEW before you even knew it, right? He didn't even take like a year off. He went right to AEW within months, and that kind of scared me a little bit. Why? Because AEW, man, they do be doing a lot of crazy wild stunts indeed. And as soon as he gets in AEW, not too long afterwards, they start putting him against Darby Allin. And Darby Allin, I say out of the whole roster they got, Darby Allin is the one who puts his body on the line the most. But Darby Allin is young, man. He's young. That's why I always thought it was funny him going around with Sting. Like, even though I do like them together, but I always thought that was crazy because Sting is like old as hell, and they be trying to do the same thing with Sting. They're like, oh, Sting jumps off of this, And I watched pretty much all the Jeff Hardy matches in AEW. I think the only one I missed was that pay-per-view, that last pay-per-view. But I seen like how they had him pulling crazier and crazier stunts. I seen how Darby Allin jumped off that top of that ladder in the stage and landed directly on Jeff Hardy. I seen how slower and surely the pain and the things that he used to show, because you could tell. I used to always ask myself this about Jeff Hardy. I used to be like, man, is he selling or is he really in pain? I be looking at him and he always he'll grab his stomach sometimes, or he'll be limping, or he'll be moving kind of slow, and he tends to do this after he pulls high risk stunts and high risk maneuvers. And I'm just thinking to myself, like, man, Jeff Hardy, man, I don't want to see nothing happen to him, because I don't want things to end on a bad note for him. And I think this whole DUI thing, man, I think this really is involving pain to me. If this stuff is real or a publicity stunt, whatever. But if it's real, I think that it has to be pain, yo. When you're going through so much pain, a lot of times people will do things to take their minds off the pain. And again, this is a 44-year-old man who's been doing stunts since the late 90s. So a lot of us don't know how it feels to be like that. We don't know how his body feels and what he could really, really be going through it. But a lot of people, a lot of wrestlers wrestle injured. That's just a sports, period, right? People wrestling injured or playing sports injured has always been a thing. And maybe that's what he was doing. Now, I don't condone drinking and driving. I do not condone that. I always say it's better to just wait till you are in a spot where you could chill and you could drink and you ain't got to worry about that and all that moving around, or, because that is not good. But I think that's what it really is about. I don't think it's so much about he's doing this or he's doing that or he's off of this or yeah. I just think he's just trying to cope with the pain, but it's just getting out of hand. It's just gone a little too far. I mean, I do find it mighty strange and mighty weird though how the same stuff was going on in the WWE with the Usos. I do find that strange as hell though. Like, what's up with these stories hitting the news? And every time it hit the news, it's always like a DUI case. So that is a little strange and weird because I do remember that being on TMZ, just like this story. But this story was on national news because he got pulled over in a white Challenger. I think it was a Challenger he was in, and the guns was pulled on him and everything. I don't know, I guess because he was driving sporadically or something like that. The police pulled the guns out on him before they even got to the car, and then they pulled him out the car and sat him on the hood, and everybody could see it was Jeff Hardy. I don't know, man. One thing that caught my attention too was, I think this was about 2 or 3 weeks ago on AEW Rampage. Or was it Dynamite? It might have been Dynamite. And all of the crew came out. Matt, all of them came out. I remember this because their faction is kind of getting bigger, AEW got a lot of big factions. And I remember Jeff coming out, and I'm like, man, he not doing his dance no more. He used to always hit that dance. That's one of my favorite things about Jeff. Get you hype. And then he came out, and you seen him. He was like, hey, and he just walked off and walked in the back. I was like, what? I never spoke about this or mentioned this, but this caught my attention because who does that? Who comes out with a whole group of people, like everybody else ran to the ring and you was like, hey, and then went to the back. I was like, what's up with that? And I think that happened like right after that Darby Allin match. So right now he's suspended. So I don't know where the storyline is going to go now with Matt, what he's going to do, what's going to happen. They're going to have him do something now. I don't know, go back to the manager, I guess. But I just think it could definitely just be a route. Like, you're going through so much pain and you just want to drink it away. Drinking makes you numb. It makes you numb to a lot of stuff. So, I just hope he recovers, man. And I hope we get to see him again. And I hope that he can start just toning it down a little bit. Like, again, I love to see Jeff Hardy do what Jeff Hardy do. But man, just I mean, like Matt, for example. We don't see Matt doing all of this. I mean, Matt, he still be going, he'll hit you with a twist of fate. He'll hit you with a combo, but I surely ain't seeing Matt doing all this crazy stuff. So, I hope things get better for him, man. I hope he makes a fast recovery. And I hope people just try to maybe be a little bit more understanding. That's all. So, I hope y'all enjoyed this one. More content to come. Peace out.